What's up, Taiwan? I'm Sandy Chi with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Lawmakers have approved all three amendment bills put forward by the opposition after hours of physical fighting inside the legislature. These bills have been dominated legislative discussions for nearly 2 weeks, and Taipei officials, including President Taichung, are responding to the results. Joyce Zheng has the latest.
Conflict in the legislature leading deep into the night. Speaker Han Kuo-yu approves a third revision to Taiwan's laws. A clean sweep for the main opposition party, the Kuomintang, who put forward 3 amendment bills which have dominated recent legislative discussions and reignited physical fights with the ruling party that's included taped-off doors and broken windows. The amendments, now laws, cleared by the opposition-led chamber, including the Taiwan People's Party, will make it more difficult for voters to recall elected officials, requiring ID on top of signatures. It will redistribute taxpayer money by giving a larger share to local governments. And it will raise the threshold for constitutional court rulings, mandating 10 justices hear a case. It's a result the ruling Democratic Progressive Party warn as damaging to Taiwanese democracy.
经过昨天立法院的表决之后，中华民国政府的体制已经改变了。就宪政上而言，5院体制失衡了，中央地方断层了。
The DPP has also taken issue with the way the opposition has passed the bills, a stance that has drawn demonstrations, with people turning out by the thousands across multiple days of protests. Some warning of possible influence from authoritarian China on the Kuomintang. Posting to social media, President Taichung said the rulings were forcibly passed and have deprived the rights of the Taiwanese people. In an earlier post, the KMT said it is the one protecting democracy, pointing to the DPP's behavior as the obstruction of justice. They say DPP lawmakers repeatedly refused to engage in earlier discussions, stalling sessions to block the bills from passing. Now that the bills have passed, they will be sent to President Lai to be signed into law within 10 days. If he does not agree to it, he can file for a constitutional interpretation, a move that could cause more trouble, as the parties are also locked in a fight over the Constitutional Court on nominating new justices, another battle in an ongoing war between Taiwan's political parties in multiple arenas. Joseph Wu and Joyce Zhen for TaiwanPlus.
A deadly blaze at a supermarket warehouse in Taichung is once again raising questions about fire safety procedures in Taiwan. Authorities say they have uncovered the cause of the fire, which left 9 people dead and several more injured. Jaime Okan reports.
Standing outside a hospital in Taichung, Mr. Guo is grappling with the loss of a family member in a fire that shocked the nation. The massive blaze at an unfinished warehouse facility of a major supermarket chain started on Thursday night, killing at least 9 people and injuring 8 more. Authorities now say the fire was started by welding sparks. Earlier reports said the warehouse contained a lot of polystyrene material that caught fire quickly, creating dense clouds of toxic smoke. Investigators say that once the fire broke out, the flammable materials on site made it difficult for people to escape, and the Labor Ministry is criticizing the lack of safety measures in place.
远离一些燃烧物，再来就是火星要有一些防火毯把它保护起来，因为火花会跳而且它这个是挑高一旦发生火灾是有烟囱效应，是非常可怕，而且又密闭，那不完全燃烧，人就逃生就非常困难。
But Thursday's fire at the PX Smart facility is just one of many to hit warehouses and factories in Taiwan in recent months, an issue firefighters have been raising repeatedly as they call for more stringent safety regulations. Officials dealing with the most recent fire are also investigating whether the factory had illegally hired migrant workers, as 2 of the people who died were Vietnamese nationals. The city government is now threatening fines for such cases.
那针对这个聘雇非法移工的那个厂商，我们会处以就是非法容留或者是非法聘雇，分别是15到75万的罚款。
PX Smart could be fined more than $9,000 for each safety code violation. But as details emerge from the blaze, the hope for many here is that lessons can be learned to prevent another disaster from happening. Howard Zhang and Jaime Okan for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's first domestically made submarine prototype is set to begin the next phase of testing in April next year. New images show the submarine, also known as the Haikun, floating in a dock in Kaohsiung. After the prototype is finished, Harbour Test will greenlight it for sea trials to make sure it can operate in rough waters. Taiwan's legislature recently approved $18 million to continue funding the submarine project. In Germany, at least 2 people, including a small child, are dead and dozens of others injured after a vehicle drove into a crowd at a Christmas market. Local officials are calling it a terror attack. Among the 68 injured, 15 are reported to be in serious condition. The driver of the car was arrested at the scene. He has been identified as a 50-year-old Saudi medical doctor who moved to Germany in 2006. The motive for the attack remains unclear, and the man has no known links to Islamist extremism. The attack on the city of Magdeburg has led to other towns cancelling their weekend Christmas markets for security concerns and in solidarity with the victims. The first reports of North Korean units fighting on the front lines of the Russia-Ukraine war have emerged. Citing an intelligence report, South Korean lawmakers said 100 of them have been killed, with over 1,000 injured. Alec McDonald speaks to NK News correspondent Anton Sokolin to learn more.
Ukraine and South Korean officials both say that North Korean troops have suffered hundreds of casualties at the front line of the war in Ukraine. What details do we know so far?
Well, there is multiple sources giving a slightly different estimates. The latest estimate we've seen is from the South Korean side. South Korean lawmakers were briefed by the National Intelligence Service that actually 100 North Korean soldiers were killed in action in the Kursk region of Russia, whereas the number of wounded could rise up to 1,000. And at the same time, we are seeing slightly different mixed estimates from the Ukrainian side, because usually they count dead bodies a bit differently. They include, let's say, casualties. When they count casualties, they include both wounded and killed. And right now, the number stands at 200, both killed and wounded.
What do these casualties mean for future cooperation between North Korea and Russian militaries?
Well, there is several implications are on the horizon right now. The first obvious one is that whatever hype the Russian war bloggers raised around the issue of North Korean troops being actually very effective and prescribing them all kinds of heroic acts like recapturing one of the villages in the Kursk region are probably not true, or at least it cast a serious blow to their reputation. Secondly, we are seeing that the North Korean troops that were particularly stationed in those regions, in those particular areas where they had clashes with Ukrainian forces, are not probably very adapted countering attacks, specifically Ukrainian drone strikes, and it also undermines their reputation as a reliable force, which means that Russians, if they want to continue using these particular units again, they would probably have to pay more attention to training.
This lack of training is something that Ukrainian military officials have also commented on, saying that North Korean soldiers are under-equipped and under-trained. What are some additional details about this lack of training?
South Korean lawmakers that were briefed by the spy agency said that whereas indeed some of these troops are supposed to be coming from elite forces and have somewhat better training, they do lack understanding of modern warfare. They lack their expertise of how to fight drones, how to counter drone attacks, how to spot them. Several videos that we've seen so far featured North Korean soldiers looking a bit dazzled and I would say surprised at when when drones start flying over their heads, they ran frantically. They try to avoid the drones. So all of this means that they haven't been very well prepared.
That was Anton Sokolin, a correspondent at NK News. Strawberry prices in Taiwan have spiked as production drops by half. Cadence Caranta reports on how climate change and pests are taking a bite out of one of the country's winter fruits.
Plump and red, and usually abundant during late fall to spring in Taiwan, strawberries are found in all kinds of desserts and drinks. But this year, strawberry season is looking a little different, with Taiwan facing a shortage after producing around 50% less than usual. That's because hot temperatures, likely influenced by climate change, as well as pests and diseases, are causing crops to die.
2个台风前都非常的炎热，又是我们栽种期。那苗矿种下去之后呢，就比较容易死掉。那死掉重种又是慢。
The shortage of strawberries has caused prices to soar in Taiwan, with 1 kilogram of strawberries now costing over $30, and meaning some are choosing not to use the fruit on their desserts.
目前草莓很贵，所以我们就会用其他的水果来代替。
But some farmers in Taiwan's central Miaoli County, which produces most of the country's strawberries, are trying something new, a different kind of planting method where strawberries are planted in elevated containers rather than in the ground. This protects strawberry crops from hot temperatures, and farmers say it's been working, increasing their profit.
预估提升1.6倍。再来，我们因为气候的影响。
Farmers say as more strawberries grow, prices will return to normal, likely after Lunar New Year. But for now, Taiwan's strawberry shortage continues. James Lin and Cadence Quaranta for TaiwanPlus.
December 21st is the winter solstice in the Northern Hemisphere. In Taiwan, it's a time for friends and family to gather for traditional snacks. Earlier, I went in search of some seasonal delicacies to mark the day.
It's winter solstice, the shortest day of the year, also known as Dongzhi in Taiwan. So how do people celebrate this cold and dark day? Well, they have Tangyuan, which are glutinous rice balls. The round chewy balls are filled with sweet red bean paste and other fillings. And to make sure there's enough of these popular treats to meet demand, businesses have been working day and night.
大概在1个月前就开始备料跟规划一些排单的动作，然后还有各个公司的订单这样子。
Eating Tangyuan is an important tradition in Taiwan, as it is said to bring good luck for the new year. And its round shape symbolizes unity. The dish's name, Tangyuan, sounds similar to the Chinese word 团圆, which means reunion.
因为冬至它通常的话呢，就是1年中最寒冷的一天。那吃汤圆代表有1年在结束的时候，我们会有个圆满的结果。
The dessert comes in different flavors, including red bean, black sesame, peanut, and many more. Everyone has their favorite flavor.
最喜欢芝麻跟花生的口味。
为什么？口感怎么样？
很香，芝麻很香，然后花生刚刚好，很 Q 这样。
花生汤圆。
为什么？
就甜甜的，很好吃啊。
我今天点了鲜肉汤圆跟一个芝麻花生汤圆。 我觉得他们家口感很 Q.
The Chinese community has been celebrating the winter solstice with Tangyuan for over 1,000 years. The hope is that this treat will not only bring warmth to this dark day, but also bring friends and family together as the new year approaches. Justin Wu and Sanny Chi in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
Thanks for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, we leave you with a scuba diving Santa relaxing with a special helper in the Florida Keys before the holidays. I'm Sanny Chi, take care and see you next time.
Competition with China, not conflict.
The entire world has great interest in keeping Taiwan's chip industry functional.
So the silicon shield that supposedly has been protecting Taiwan.
How many years the TSMC can still maintain its competitive edge?
What do you see as the next big shift in the semiconductor industry?
Taiwan's take on global headlines. All that matters, TaiwanPlus.